Previously on Balls.
You don't think we should phone him first, play a song, and let him wake up?
No. We're about to get...
You were about to wake David Campese from REM for his sleep.
We're about to
Big time.
Is this hotel room? Was his cell phone? I think he's waiting for us. I'm sure David's awake waiting for us. Morning.
How are you?
All right, you Campo. Sorry, you always send me your numbers through like 3 days before we actually do the thing, and then I can't remember if you WhatsApp me, SMS me, or direct message me. So sorry we're phoning you live.
There we go. At least you got me.
Did we wake you up?
No, because I'm at my mum's place, and it's about 7 degrees, mate. So I'm pleased my Balls radio off, so that's why I was waiting for you.
All right, where so you are in Sydney?
No, Queanbeyan.
Where? Queensland?
Queanbeyan, down near Canberra.
Oh, near Canberra. Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit chilly over there.
Is Mum glad to have you home?
She is, mate. Yeah. So it's good to have been here for a while. So it's always good to come back to where you sort of started playing and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's good.
All right, we won't keep you too long, David. Obviously, a very interesting weekend of rugby. We're in the flush out now, and it's proudly brought to you, as always, by Imperial Collection, home of signature brands, the importer and distributor of Bentley, Lamborghini, and Lotus. Go to imperialcollection.co.za or drop by the dealership on the corner of William Nicol and Bryanston Drive. If you're in the market or just want to have a look, and if you want to have a look at what they got there, click on our website, use the Imperial Collection button. You can take you straight through to their website. Otherwise, look at our videos with Sasha, Ian, and Daisy and see what they get up to and what those cars look like. Absolutely fantastic. Imperial Collection, home of signature brands. Well, I'm sure you want to start, obviously, with the big game of the weekend, the Lions against the Wallabies. And I was saying to Jean de Villiers just a little earlier on, how can Kurtley Beale nail one from the car park to beat us in a test match, and he can't even stay on his feet to kick a vital penalty to win a game for the Wallabies?
Yeah, but I think the biggest problem was there, Darren, was that the Oval was a disgrace. I watched him. He came on, kicked 2 very good penalties, made some really good runs. You know, the Lions are a bit slow, and the Wallabies obviously demonstrated if they actually played a week or 2 before, they would have been match fitness, and they probably wouldn't have got injured. But I watched him when he slipped over, and his boot at the back was just full of mud. And I actually tweeted saying, how could this be an international rugby oval? It was a disgrace. So I'm not, everyone's saying, he's had trouble and this is... It wasn't that. I mean, if you just go and have a look at when he slipped over, he actually tried to move the ball when he placed it, but the referee said, no, you stay there. So he was right in the middle of the centre of the field, and it was a mess. So that's what I put it down to.
All right, so it was just surface conditions at...
Yes, yeah, it was just a joke. It was a joke.
No, what is that, from a maintenance point of view? I just had a lot of rain there.
No, well, they had some rain, but apparently it's a very good oval for drainage. And I did mention before the game on Supersport, the oval looked great. But in that centre, and if you look at the scrum situation on that oval, it digs it up. And as I was walking past the oval, you could see it was one of those ovals that, because it's a rugby league oval and all that sort of stuff, it's not really made for the scrum situation. And right in that centre patch, you can see when I was starting the game, it was all patchy. So it wasn't great. But again, he had another chance. I mean, if James O'Connor kicked those goals early, mate, they wouldn't have been in that situation. But
yeah, absolutely.
James O'Connor, for me, he's not a number 10's backside. He struggled. He didn't take control of the game. And when the pressure got on, he gave the kick into someone else. So,
Well, I mean, he had to, but I mean, it was very unfortunate that they lost Lealefano off so early in the game. And what was it in the end? Three of the Wallabies stretch it off the field
in the first 67 minutes.
Gee.
Yeah, stretch it off. But again, that's because of they haven't played. You cannot play at international level these days and not play for 20 days. Yeah. It's great to train. You can train as hard as you like. You can be as fit as you like, whatever. But it's a contact sport, and you can see the contact was very brutal out there. And that Davies from Wales, when he runs, Yeah. He's a big guy. On the other hand, there were some fantastic tries scored. Falau, great debut, 2 tries.
How good was that?
Yeah, North, sensational try. I mean, how poor was the kicking from both sides in that first half? Aimless kicking away. There's a lot of pressure. And, the thing that really stood out for me in that second half was that the Wallabies, the speed. I think this week the Lions are very slow. And this week is going to be very different, I suppose, with George Smith coming in. They've had to really go and find some players because they're lacking players. But again, it was, down to me, it was Robbie Dean's selections. You're picking a number 10 at fullback and a number 15 at 10. And it just demonstrated it didn't work. And the other, I think, big factor for the weekend was the interpretation of the laws for the Northern Hemisphere side. They were just, blown off the paddock. Every 50-50 call went to the Wallabies because of the referee. And it's quite interesting. I do radio to London. I had Shane Williams with me. And before that last scrum packed down, I said to Shane, off there, I said, mate, you watch, it's going to be penalty of the Wallabies here. And the Lions were dumb because on the wing, they had Nick Phibbs. And they had on the other side of the field, they had Hooper, and they had DBO in the centre. So the Lions had them outnumbered, had them outclassed, but yet the stupid forwards decided to push it in the scrum. And when you the referees, mate, the referee's going to always look for a penalty. Yeah. And there it was. It was there for the taking, but unfortunately Kirtley slipped. And I was disappointed after the game that the Wallabies didn't get around Kirtley and say, mate, don't worry about it, get on with it. Sort of left him there. And it was very, very disappointing from my point of view because it just showed that the team still is, there's problems there. And Paul Kirtley sort of copped it after that, but it wasn't his fault.
Yeah. Who are the rest for the next couple of games?
Joubert is this week's referee.
Craig's doing the second game. Yeah.
And he apparently at the game on Saturday, even I was with Brian Moore, and he said he could hear Joubert speaking to Pollard right through the whole game. He was really speaking a lot. So if the Lions wake up to themselves this week, they're in a bit of trouble. Obviously, O'Connell's out, broken arm. Horwell, I didn't see the incident, but someone told me, a very good journalist, that he should have gone.
Well, he got cleared.
He should have gone.
Yeah, cleared.
Yeah, he got cleared. So, obviously there's a bit of help there, but, I mean, they're trying to clean the game up. They say they try and clean the game up. They want it for the mothers to watch, and then they go and kick someone in the head. So I don't understand.
I think the citing commissioner was in a good mood this weekend because even, Orwell got cleared for his, and that Samoan got cleared for grabbing Adrian Strauss's judge crackers.
Yeah, mate, but that's all right. Everyone does that.
In Australia, maybe. So based on what we spoke about... you guys love a bit of it. Based on what we spoke about last week, do you reckon now that's the series for the Lions?
Well, this week's a different game, hey? I think the Wallabies demonstrated that if they'd actually played, I think they would have beaten the Lions because you can see the speed of the game. Hooper had a great game, and they basically took a lot of the Brumbies' effort by actually attacking the breakdown very quick and moving the ball quickly. But I think the execution, it's interesting. If you take Will Genny out of that Wallaby side, mate, they're gone. Yeah. He played 9,
How
10,
good is he?
He demonstrated, he killed everybody.
Wow. How good is that little run he had early in the first half? They scored off that. Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah, but he's a class player. And the other thing was interesting that Phillips, who played against him, had a shocker because all he wanted to prove that he was better than Will Genny. Yeah. So there's a lot of egos there, instead of actually playing the game as a team. They actually, the Lions did make a lot of mistakes, and I think this week they'll be very, very smart. So it's going to be a very, very tight game again this week.
All right. Well, here's the latest news. We have Super Rugby back with us after getting into Test matches. Now we're going to go back to the Super Rugby franchises again. So I don't know if you remember much about who's where or what, but care for a couple of predictions for us this evening?
Yeah, go for it. Give me whoever you want, and I'll tell you what's going to win, lose, or draw.
All right.
Okay, Chiefs Hurricanes in Hamilton.
The Chiefs Hurricanes. I have to go the Chiefs.
Highlanders Crusaders in Dunedin.
That's a good one, isn't it? Crusaders. Are all the players playing? Are they all back?
Well, speaking to Jean a little earlier on, it sounds like some of them might be rested, but I mean, look, it depends. I think the Stormers are kind of done and dusted.
Well, you can rest them, mate. They're finished, so that really cares.
Yeah, exactly. But I think with teams like that have still got a chance, like the Crusaders, I think they'll be wanting to rest any players.
Yeah, no, they'll go for it.
Sharks Blues in Durban.
I believe there's still a lot of rubbish in the papers about the Sharks, guys.
Jeez, I was down there for the Sharks Golf Day on Tuesday. It's let's just say it's a little tense down there at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think things were handled, but it's interesting that there's a lot about Nick Mallett, and it's quite interesting, isn't it?
He says no.
He says no. He just doesn't know where it comes from.
No, well, I know that because I spoke to Nick when I came back from overseas, and I just sort of spoke. I said, how's it going? He said, oh, no, good, what happened? And it just seemed like the story was that some journalist got hold of Nick and wrote an article before they had a chance to speak to Plumbers and John. That's what I heard.
Yeah, well, it sounds typical.
We should get Plum and Mickey Arthur on the couch together.
Well, that's a very good point, because it just demonstrated that's why in Australia we don't need a foreign coach in any sport, because after a while, they interviewed a lot of cricketers tonight, and I think they're all experts. They're all very happy that Arthur's gone. So it just demonstrates that we haven't talked about Jake White, but I think that's one of the problems as well. We can't succeed with a foreign coach. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in Australia. I know you're a great support of Jake White, but unfortunately, mate, it doesn't really work out here.
Yeah, you guys lack the discipline.
Well, he's not a foreign coach to us.
I'll pee off.
Bulls Kings, Pretoria.
Bulls.
And then the last game of the weekend, big one, Stormers Cheetahs.
Stormers Cheetahs. I'll go for the Cheetahs.
In Cape Town.
The backside. But I didn't pick the Sharks game, did I?
No, we got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Sharks Blues.
Who's the Sharks playing?
Blues.
Yeah.
Who's coaching? Plumbers.
For now,
yeah, he is, but reluctantly, I think.
Actually, I'll have to go. I think injury-wise, I'll go for the Blues.
All right. We'll see how it all goes next week, Campo. Have a good night's sleep. What's the time there now?
The time now is probably 2 o'clock in the morning. That's
I'm sorry. I actually feel
anything through Balls Radio.
Yeah, I almost feel a little bit bad.
Sacrifices.
Almost feel a little bit bad.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Well, have fun.
Next week, next Monday, I should be home in beautiful Durban, where it's not 7 degrees here in Queensland.
But you can cut the atmosphere with a knife, so good luck with that. Thanks, Campo. Enjoy. Sleep well.
Thanks. I speak to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
There we go. That's Campo joining us in the flush out today. And by the way, with Super Rugby back, remember our Super Brew continues with Corex and Digi ads. Great prizes to give away. You can check it out on our website at balls.co.za. That is the flush out this afternoon, proudly brought to you by Imperial Collection, home of signature brands. Go and check them out on their website, imperialcollection.co.za. Or go and check them out at their dealership at William Nicol and Bryanston on the corner there. Imperial Collection, home of signature brands. Look out for the videos at balls.co.za. Sasha, Ian and Geisel.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za.